Hey guys, Tres Yap here with another episode of Train Origins. Today we're going to be looking at the origins of Antonio Miguel Ventura, time traveler. Antonio Miguel Ventura, or Venti as the homies would call him, was an average boy in the Ateneo High School debate team. In that timeline, his life was marked by contentment, and a particular resentment for heretics residing in the Holy Lands, often causing him to deus vult at the most awkward of times. However, this idyllic lifestyle would soon end, as, in the span of 5 years, the world soon turned into chaos, then brought under the heel of a cruel and ruthless dictator, Matthew Mercado, star debater of Xavier High School and leader of an elite cadre of Makuleki tribesmen soldiers. In a revolution that was as brutal as it was swift, that is to say, not at all, he had hamstrung the world's governments. Well, except for Madagascar, as all their ports were closed. The world watched on helplessly as the dictator instituted his plan of removing the international moratorium on whaling and a system of mass redistribution of wealth. Karl Marx, copyright. The resistance forces grew even weaker, and as Matthew led the siege into the holy land of UP Los Baños, they knew there was only one man they could turn to: the renowned Crusader and child rapist Antonio Miguel Ventura. Matthew, however, had spies within the resistance force, in the form of a tribesman dressed in a cardboard box with "Not a Spy" written hastily in marker. Thus, the hunt for Venti had begun. The hunt took several weeks, and they had narrowed down Venti's location to a laboratory in UP Town disguised as a pepper lunch. The tanks began to close in. In his arrogance, he forgot to account for one very crucial factor: the scientific prowess of Mao Zedong, the very same genius who had pioneered the Carlo Pastor project. As the door to the laboratory slammed open and painted men in sleek costumes and tribal markings filled into the room, Venti entered the time machine. The last thing he heard before the flash of light was the harsh cadence of bullets, and oddly enough, the Tagalog version of the International. Now, we return to the timeline that we all know. Here, Venti has created and assumed a new identity: David Africa. By manipulating the timeline in subtle ways, such as committing the rape of Nanking so the Chinese would have less influence in the Philippines, popularizing chia seeds to instigate the transformation of Matthew Mercado into a basic bitch, and the most famous one, of course, and as we all know, piloting a passenger airliner into the Twin Towers. Due to the changes in his vital personality formation events as a child, i.e. in this timeline Matthew Mercado has only killed one flea-ridden prostitute, he joined the Ateneo debaters alongside David Africa America. Crisis had been averted, and the world was saved. Now, David Africa America Asia seeks to enrich the debating circuit by losing in as many quarterfinals as he can, as well as moonlighting as a video editor in his spare time inside his home in Bo's Coffee. That's all for today's episode of Train Origins. Next episode, we're going to cover the shapeshifter Gabe Apostol and his journey to find an extension at Op Whip.